Hello friends, I'm back. It's been a while, and over the past 2 years, haven't been a lot of videos. That's what this video is going to be about, because I'm sure if you subscribe to the channel, you're interested in seeing more videos, and you might think to yourself, hey Brad, where's the videos? And so I'm going to try and answer that question today, and I'm also going to give an update on where the channel is going, and I'm going to get personal with it, you know? I'm going to give you a good insight into who I am, which if you're subscribed and you're here, then I think you should know that. I think you should know that the kind of person I am when I'm making these videos that you watch or that you might not watch. You should kind of know the person who you're subscribed to. And then I'm going to give an update on what the plans going forward are. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I've got an actual update as well. So that'll be fun. About the FMV video, which is now gone now. So look forward to that at the end. But in the meantime, let's talk about where the videos have been. The truth of the matter is that there isn't a reason that the videos slowed down and stopped. There isn't really a reason why I haven't made anything that's anything to do with time constraints or problems or issues. It's all internal. I haven't really been motivated, but what you have to understand is the motivation issue comes from the idea that I'm struggling to see the value of making videos. Not necessarily for myself, because I have a lot of fun doing it and I'm learning new things every time. But it's about what the value is for you, for the people watching, for the reason I'm doing it, sharing it on the internet in the first place. I personally experience a lot of this kind of creative malaise where I have this deep-seated need to create stuff, even if it's just something stupid and simple like a YouTube video. But even when I do that, there's a sense of wanting to make something that has real value, that achieves something. And when I make a video like the first video I made, the one about baby assassins, I felt like I had a unique angle to talk about that movie from. Something that nobody else was really saying, that nobody else had really gone into detail with. And every time I make a new video, no matter what it is, I sit to myself and I think, is this video worthwhile? Am I saying enough? Am I going into deep enough analysis? Is my analysis even good? Do people actually want to hear what I have to say? If I were to just review movies, I would have the same problem. Because what am I saying that other people are not saying? If all you really get is my personality, if I like something or don't. When I go out there and I try and analyze a movie, I think to myself, well, I could watch the movie and figure this out. They could see another 100,000 people saying this exact opinion if they've seen the movie. Or this idea or this analysis. Like, so many movies are not that complicated, or if they are, have been talked to death from a multiple different viewpoints. So what am I offering? What do I give? And I think it kind of has to be personality driven, right? I'm curious to get thoughts on this because I think I mentioned it a little bit in my last video, but it is generally the reason why you've had nothing over months, in a year almost, really. You've been 2 videos in a year, more than that actually, year and a half. This kind of strive to make something that's high quality, that has to say something, that has to mean something, makes it very difficult to want to make videos, because I can't think of a good way to talk about some movies. Some movies you can't say a lot about, some movies you can. There are movies out there that I could talk about for hours, and all I can sit there and think is, people are going to think I'm stupid if I get something wrong, or my analysis is a bit simple. People are going to think, well, I've heard this before, other people have analysed the same theories, or I'm going to talk in circles, or 100 other different possible things. And that especially comes through when I made my QuickTime Rex video, because all I could think afterwards was I thought that was a well-produced video, it was one of my best yet. And then afterwards all I could think was, but what's the point? I could have just named these 3 movies in a Twitter thread and said, go watch them, right? And it's the same for reviews as well. Because ultimately, like I say, what am I saying that other people aren't saying? If people haven't seen the movie, then I'm only going to have to go into spoilers, or if I'm just talking about whether I thought it was good or not. It all feels like nobody is going to get anything out of these videos, like they're not worth making, because who's going to watch them? And the truth of the matter is that I actually haven't been uninspired. I have tons of video ideas. I have a notepad file full of video ideas and movies that I think I could talk about for ages, that I sit there and I go, but what am I going to say about this movie that's new? People have already talked about this movie. People have already said what there is to say about this movie. I can't offer a unique perspective. I can't offer a unique idea. And if I do have a unique idea, well, guess what? I'm not that confident. And so if I present a unique idea and unique peak of analysis and people think it's stupid, I'm going to be thinking about that before I make the video. And that's going to prevent me from doing it. It's a very difficult ebb and flow. Trying to figure out the pros and cons of everything that I make. The reasonable discourse for it all. And I sit there and I look at other people's videos, people who are doing similar things to me, and I go, am I overthinking it? I could make a video that's just my letterboxed last, months worth of watches and just give them a quick review. I could just talk about every movie I see and I could give it a quick review on YouTube, or I could, every movie I liked, every movie I give 5 stars, I could do a quick review. Whether I've got new things to say about them or not, whether I've got lots to say about not. And I just think to myself, why? And I think the answer has to be that I have to overcome these mental problems myself, these issues. But alongside that, there's also kind of an executive dysfunction factor that I've had going on. For the past while now, I haven't been making videos, of course, even though I want to. Making the videos is fun. But I also haven't been watching a lot of movies, even when I've wanted to. I haven't been listening to music, even when I've wanted to. I haven't been playing games, even when I've wanted to. There's a very, very real part of me that just kind of does nothing. And I think that's kind of hard if it hasn't ever happened to you to relate to this idea of like wanting to do things, having the ability to do things, having them right there and just not doing it. Putting off and procrastinating doing things that you will find fun. I've been able to get through a lot of that for the majority of my life by doing things with friends, watching movies with friends, playing games with friends, talking to music about friends, or traveling to places and listening to music. And so at the moment, there's just this weird feeling that's, it's difficult to overcome, where I'm just not doing anything. And I have to change. I have to change that, for not just for the good of the channel, but for the good of me, of course. I'm sure there's a lot of people who subscribed who don't care about this at all. I'm saying it anyway. You can skip to the different timestamps for whatever you want to hear about. Fact of the matter is that I do worry about what the value is, what people want from the videos. And that's why I have a question for you, the viewer, for what you kind of want to see in the future, what you consider to be the acceptable line. Now I know that for everyone this is going to be different, but I kind of just need to get it through my head. At the end of the day, what's going to happen, what I'm going to do is this year, I am going to make it my personal mission, pass or fail, to make at least one video a month, if not more, if I can. And I also want to make up for the 2 months that I didn't make videos so far this year, including this one. And I need you to hold me to that. But for that to work, I also need to know if what I'm doing is something that people actually are interested in seeing. Are you interested in videos that are just, here's movies to a theme that you would like to see, like the Quickfire Rex? Are you interested in that? Here's 5 action movies that are really good that are underrated. Just a quick video, maybe even just a short. Are you interested in a video that's more personal, where it's like, here's the last 10 movies I saw, or here's all the movies I saw this month? An update, if you will, where I just talk about each of these movies, one after the other, and say whether I like them and why. Very quick, very brief. Are you okay for me to just make a general review of movies that I love? Even if I don't have a unique perspective? Even if I don't have anything new to say specifically about it? Are you interested in my perspective on whether the movie is good? Are you interested in reviews? Do you want me to sit there and say, this movie was great, here are the things I loved, here are the things I didn't love, here are the themes that maybe I thought represented it? Or even if I don't say that, do you care about those things? Are those things that will make this channel worthwhile to you as a viewer? Are these the kind of videos that you would be interested in seeing? Of course, I'll still make deeper topics when I have them. There's no stopping that. It took me over a year to make that Tommy video. I watched it in January 2025, I think. if not earlier, and I didn't make that video. I've had those thoughts about it since the second time I watched it, and I didn't make that video. Why? Because nobody else is, people may be saying similar things, but nobody else is saying that exact thing about this movie. So what's holding me off? Obviously the idea is that I don't think people are going to agree with my analysis. They're going to think it's stupid if it's a unique perspective. And if it's not a unique perspective, something that's been had multiple people say it, therefore there's a consensus on it, people are just going to go, well, I've already seen a video about this, I already have this opinion. That's the ultimate description of what the problem is. So I'll still make videos like that. And I'm going to be more lenient to myself and make videos that have a less unique point about it if I still feel like I have something to say. And sometimes I'm going to cover movies even if I don't have a refined, uniform theory. I was so happy when Baby Assassins 2 came out because I had a refined, uniform theory that I could talk about, something that I could pinpoint and I could really talk about. Imagine if I didn't, and I couldn't cover that movie. That could very well have been the case, even if I had ideas on like, this could be this could mean this, and that might be interesting to hear about. I wouldn't have done it because if I didn't have a complete, truly like understood theory of what Baby Assassins was trying to say in my head. If I just had ideas, because I think that I think I've had people tell me ideas about movies. That's interesting. That's an interesting perspective. Let's think about that. But to actually to just have it as a theory and not like something where I'm sure about this, it stops me from making videos. So I'm gonna have to overcome that. But I need to know if people are interested in just simple reviews, if they're interested in maybe a recap of my film watching activities and ratings and the challenges and the things that I'm doing. If they're interested in me doing more challenges like Gamera and making ranking videos like that, because I just started doing Fast and Furious, I could make a video about that, no problem. And I'm sure I've got not necessarily interesting, but I'm sure I've got unique things to say about those movies. I've certainly got ideas. And are people still interested in the Quickfire Rex? Do they want movie recommendations from me as well? Because I'm happy to do them all. I actually like making the videos. I don't really care about the views. I care about the content being enjoyable to someone. And all I can do is when I make these videos is I sit there and think, I wouldn't watch these videos. And that's a real problem. But I'm set in my ways. I really am. So I'm interested in hearing your perspectives on what you think. And whether you even care. Maybe you're just like, just make videos, whatever, who cares? Plenty of people are making videos. I have close friends who have YouTube channels who are making videos where they're just going, I just saw this, I thought it was great, here are the things I like, here are the things I didn't like. I could be doing that. I don't know why I'm not doing that. I have to get out of my head. So we're making a commitment. And in order to stick to that commitment, I am going to go out of my way to specifically name videos that I'm going to make next. So if Quickfire Rex is still something that people are interested in seeing, then the next one I want to do, the next film that I want to do is to cover AJ Devgan, who is an Indian actor who of course was in Triple R and has many movies, to be honest. I've watched a lot of his movies actually, and I think there's some really solid ones that people who don't watch a lot of Indian cinema probably haven't seen that I think I could recommend, and I think that could be a very interesting video. I also have a video that I've recorded over 2 years ago that I recorded twice actually, deleted and recorded again, that I can record another time if need be. I'm going to listen to it first, but this one is going back to my roots and talking more about autism. This one I think is not that analytical, but I think it is analytical enough and unique enough for it to be a good idea. I've just never pulled the trigger on it for a lot of the reasons I listed prior, but I want to make that video. It's going to cover several movies. It's going to cover several tropes that I think can be related to by autistic people. Characters who could potentially be autistic or have experiences that are relatable to people who are neurodiverse. I've had that video in my head for a while of characters or movies that have relatable things. So if you're interested in that stuff, I think that could be an interesting movie to make. Think about. And then the final one I want to make, I definitely want to make a video about Dead Talent Society. I think that is a movie that nobody is seeing, and I think that is a shame. And while I don't have anything unique to say about it specifically, I don't have a hot take, I don't have a theory, which is the kind of thing that has prevented me from making a video about it up until this point. Even though I don't have those things, I think it's worth covering that movie just to convince people to see it, you know. And if people have seen it, then we can talk about it and we can have fun discussing it. I want to try and keep those reviews maybe spoiler free or very light. Maybe I'll have a spoiler section at the end. But we're going to try it. We're going to try it, you know. So that's the plan for the channel going forward, really, is we're going to do a lot of videos this year, ideally. We're going to bring in reviews. And I'm going to potentially change stuff depending on if you actually find those videos valuable. Because so far, the Quickfire Rex hasn't done well, the small facts haven't done particularly well, and it's not even just a case of the views haven't been good, but the like ratio hasn't been the best. But it's hard to know if people just don't agree with me or if they didn't like the video, if they didn't find it interesting. I'd like to think that people watched my Quickfire X video and went, I'll watch these 3 movies, or I'll watch one of these movies, they sound interesting. They were all action movies, they were all good fun movies. Popular as well, you know, well reviewed. So I don't know. Maybe people would want to see that. I'd like to think that that was the case. Same for the City Hunter video I made. That had a lot of dislikes. And I don't know if it just wasn't interesting or if it was just like a pointless fact. It was kind of pointless. It was a very small thing. But that's the kind of thing where I'm thinking, like, I've come from something where I think it's interesting or unique, and is there value there? Am I actually saying anything that anyone really has value in? Is it interesting enough? Is it unique enough? Is it a formalized theory enough for it to make sense? And for City Hunter, it didn't seem that way. So we'll see. We'll see about that. I'm interested to hear what you think about that update going forward. And then the final update, and then obviously the next update is I am working on 2 more projects. I want to say one of these out loud to make sure that I, again, commit to it. I've been wanting to make a short film since my last one forever. And I haven't done so because that would require me doing it. And so I just want to say this for the people who are interested. I am going to do that. 100%. Not right now, but next winter, for sure, I'm going to start filming and making that short film. Whether it's finished mid-next year, I don't know, but I have to put that out there. I have to hold myself accountable and say it out loud. That short film will come. It will be a horror film. It will be very different. It will have very different production value to the last one I made, which was more of a pre-Vase style fight scene. It's not without its problems. But that was kind of the intention going in, for it to be a bit more like that. We had actually grander ideas. Like, if you watch the commentary, you'll see there's grander ideas about what we wanted to do that we weren't able to achieve because of the time we had. But it still would have had a pre-Vase, you know, feel to it. But this one won't. I want to make this one feel a bit more professional. I have a good idea. I have a lot of ideas about films, some that I'm never going to be able to do unless I get more confident and get more rich. But this one I can do, and I'm excited to do it. So make sure you press me on that one when winter comes around, because I will make it. Have to make it. And there are other projects in the pipeline that I'm working on, other things that will allow me to, I hope, get my personality out there onto this channel. So it's not just raw autistic information, it is personality driven. There's jokes, there's ideas, there's what I like and dislike being represented in the reviews that I make. So I'm hoping that some of those work out. And the final update is, as alluded to, my FMV video got taken down. Now, you might remember this video. I covered a movie called Crossfire. Except it wasn't a movie, it was an FMV game. No movie ever got released. Crossfire, though, was definitely 100% a movie. It didn't have alternative scenes when you made choices in the game. And it was high production value. It had explosions, it had stunts. Well, the good news is that we finally have some answers. So it's a shame that video was taken down, but we got some closure on that one because Icky struck my video. That's right. This movie is now called Owl Hunt Storm, and it's coming to Icky later this year. So we have kind of an answer that the movie will come out, the movie will be released as it was intended via Icky. This doesn't leave us with 100% of the mystery solved because we still don't necessarily know what the delay was, but it gives us 2 very solid probables, and that's that either something went really wrong with the original distributor and they had to ship it to other distributors and it took them a while to find one, or something happened at Iki and they had to delay the project. But this movie has now found its home. It is no longer a movie lost to time that only exists in FMV form. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have an update on a story that I was talking about so long ago now. And of course there's a new trailer you can watch, which I will link in the description. But be warned, if you plan to make a video about this topic, Iki are striking everybody. So everybody who's played this FMV game can no longer upload YouTube videos to it. That's just the way it is. You can watch the video on Iki. You can buy the FMV game if you don't want to do that. Both options are great. But we have some answers. It's releasing. It's going to be an official movie. Our boy finally grown up. So thanks for watching, and I'll make sure to get more videos to you this time. We'll not be waiting as long. So keep an eye out. Look forward to seeing you. Ciao.